Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 58. Today we will be doing battles with pirates. And so, if you're new to the channel and not familiar with what's going on, we have just recently qualified for seasonals. We're taking this week to prepare for the tournament. And with our lineup, we're looking to do a little bit of beating up on Pantheon and a little bit of beating up on Talia Ziggs. And so, the lineup we're looking to bring to seasonals is pirates. We're looking to bring Yordles and Arms, and then we're going to bring discard Draven, discard Scion, whatever you like to call that deck. And so we've got everything kind of tuned and ready. With that in mind, this deck is geared towards beating Pantheon and beating Talia Ziggs. And so the big thing that we see in that with pirates is it's already a good matchup, right? It's not something that we need to go overboard to try and win. But if we're going to try and go through literally every match of the tournament and face off against one of those two decks, then I feel like we should do a little bit of something to give us some edge. And so we are playing the version of Pirates that has 3 Twisted Fates instead of the split where you play 3 Twisted Fate and 1 Gangplank. And then we're also playing 2 copies of Arachnoid Sentry. The idea with both of these selections is that our opponent's going for go tall strategies, right? If you're trying to get your fated unit on board and loaded up with a bunch of spells, there's a pretty good chance that you only have the 1 unit on board. And so this isn't super powerful defensively, right? We don't often get the opportunities to just shut down a Pantheon. He can just open and burst spells onto him. But if they have to make a Zenith Blade turn, then we can do it. And if they're trying to make plays with the Golden Aegis, then we can also do it. So defensively, there's some ways to sneak these stuns in, but it's a little bit more important offensively. And so if our opponent has just played a single unit on the board, they make one of these starts to where they don't do anything the first 2 turns, and then they play a dragon on turn 3 and put a Zenith Blade on it. That leaves us up to just get these really powerful and crushing stuns that let us chunk in a bunch of damage. And so that is the big thing here that you don't see too often. The next thing that I like to go for is I expect the format to be like a little bit slower than we see on the ladder. I do suspect that there will be some like triple burn deck lineups, but across the board, I think the format will be a little bit slower, and there'll be more control decks than we just generally run into on the ladder. And so, with that in mind, I always want a little bit more reach. In those terms, we're going to be playing Jack the Winner. This gives us the Sleep with the Fishes burn spell that we can use once the board gets overclogged. And then we're playing the singular copy of Might. It can be searched up by Zap, and it gives us a way to just punch in a single block, hopefully come in and close out a game, especially against the decks playing a bunch of Vile Feasts. And so to get all of these things in, we have, sacrificed some of our strength in the mirror match. We are playing 0 copies of Make It Rain. We're playing 2 copies of, Mirai Warden, and then 2 copies of Island Navigator, the full 3 copies of Zap. And so with the AoE removal taken out, the unit generators reduced in numbers, then the full 3 copies of Zap, we aren't very well tuned to deal with the mirror, deal with these triple burn lineups, but that's something that I expect we'll see, but not with as much frequency as both the slower decks. And again, we're trying to focus on Talia Ziggs, focus on Pantheon. And so ideally, if opponent brings a lineup involving pirates or something, we can either just ban it out, or we can line up our matchups to just beat those 2 decks twice. So that's what we're doing with today. Let's go and check and see if we have to pay the pay-to-win price on this one. And I don't think we do. I don't quite remember. Look at these guys. So much premium in here. Premium Misfortunes. That looks pretty good. It's going to be Zap. Zap's the only one that's not premium. And Jack the Winner. Okay. Oh, fuck me. Fucking cats. Here we go. You get this, though. You got this little premium nugget hanging out. She can't jump on you a normal way. She didn't draw blood, so that's good. She didn't draw blood on my arm. We appreciate it, Kitty. You are very acrobatic and agile. But the pay-to-win price has been paid. We are ready to go. Jump on into some Masters gameplay here. So, yeah, this is interesting. Like when we played in the Last Chance Gauntlet and the Gauntlet following up with that, Pirates just got banned every single time. This is what I really suspect to happen as we come into seasonals is we're probably not going to be playing this deck. It's probably going to get banned literally every single time, and that's what kind of led me to want to not play Talia Ziggs. In that there are definitely a lot of matchups where Talia Ziggs just suffers. It's really bad against a lot of the aggro decks of the format, and I don't want to deal with that. And then I also hope that we could kind of punish our opponents for that idea. But here into this one, I'm going to lead with the Crackshot Corsair. There shouldn't be any one-drops out of Zoe Aphelios that our opponent can interact with this unit with, and we can just get in the earlier chunk of damage. He's never blocking with Zoe. All right, not a bad start. We can get the Grenadier down now. We can play Misfortune next turn. If we pick up a cheaper play, like if we get a 2-drop, then I'll probably just lead with Jagged Butcher over Misfortune. Oh, not into the Sky Shadows. Never mind, my dude. Never mind. Just, if you're going to have all the 1-health units, we're definitely going with Misfortune. Now, we do have to watch ourselves here a little bit. I would like to get to attack with Misfortune this turn. If he just passes to us, this is going to be a Pale Cascade. But I think that's okay. Like, if he doesn't get to devote anything to the board, and all he does is Pale Cascade his Sky Shadow to take down Misfortune, I think that's good. He didn't have a Nightfall card in his hand either. Interesting. He didn't get that spell mana back. So it's very tough for him to actually have the Pale Cascade here. Should have taken a little bit of note of that on his turn. Something's coming at us. Figure that would be like a Mystic Shot. I don't know if this deck plays Get Excited, so I'm not super familiar with this one. But he's thinking real hard on it. There it goes. Drop it in there. The Mystic Shot. Sure thing. Comes the squad. Oh, brother. Just getting domed? That's painful. All right. Pretty reasonable thought that we'll just get a really strong Sentry in here. We get to shut down Zoe. That feels pretty nice. Yeah, we're going to open attack next turn. He does have like some scary options out of the Priestess. Like if he picks up a... if he picks up the Golden Sister, it's kind of awkward having that lifesteal unit on the board, but we've got Nox and Fervor in hand to counterspell a lifesteal, so I think we'll be okay in those terms. Pretty big board. This is annoying to have to try and crash through, but his blocks are still terrible. I think what this is going to come down to is, do we get to attack with the Crackshot Corsair? Because he does have a good block with the Solari Priestess, and I'm pretty sure we do. He's just going to block either the Arachnoid Sentry or the rear guard with the Priestess to prevent the damage. And so it should be a pretty safe attack coming out of the Corsair. Oh, he's bringing it. Bringing that thunder, huh? It is tempting to just go ahead and put a block in front of the Priestess while he doesn't have the mana. I think I'm okay with this. There's no 1-mana combat tricks that they would have here. But we have to attack. We can't have him playing whatever his expensive card from the Golden Sister was. Or the Golden Sister would be kind of disastrous. It's tough, though. I mean, we did just pick up the Mirai Warden. That would have given us a reasonable space to maybe get something in here, but I think I'm still happy with this open. And these kind of spaces are why I also wanted to include that Might, right? As he's coming in here and blocking with these dum-dums like the Spacey Sketcher and just blanking us out of tons of damage. A Might here would be, pretty lethal. If not completely lethal, then it's gonna, force them to make a big move. Okay, I don't want to play the Nox and Fervor. Kind of as we mentioned on the last turn, if he's got a a Golden Sister, I don't want to just be taking the damage from it. Looks like he picked up the Charger off the Sketcher. He's still got his expensive dude in hand, whatever that one would be called. No, he just played Meteor Shower, so that's taken care of at this point. What up, Steve? This is a pretty good board for you to hang out on. Okay. What's Zoe at? She's close to flipping. Well, Steve's coming down before that. This is where we should probably drop an emote, but we'll save it. We'll hold back on that. Boom. Ripperino, dude. Sure. Oh, he's got so many cards. God damn. All these cheapos coming out of nowhere. Maybe we should have held off on that, Steve, just a little bit. No, I think that timing was pretty appropriate. I didn't want to take the hits from Zoe. I didn't want to risk Zoe getting flipped and causing more problems.
Defiance is our way. You cannot hold us down.
All right, it looks like a lethal so far. Star shaping. So that gains 4, takes him to 10. We still kill through that. We've got 7 damage in hand. All right, game says 10. Rip. GG. Marker to 1-0. All right. So, man, we just had a cat appearance. I got super upset with my cats yesterday. As you may know, we have my sweet hydroponics setup going. I'm growing the sweetest hydro in all the Kansas City area. I was doing jalapeno peppers and some kind of other pepper. I can't remember what it was called, but they're supposed to be like small, which is what works on the little kitchen hydro setups. The fucker got up there and ate all the leaves off the stuff, and so it's like they just sprouted. They're just starting to get to grow, and I was ready to like call the herd here in about a week. So just our strong ones were surviving. Fucker went up there and ate all the leaves, and so the way that I discovered this was I found a pile of vomit on the ground full of leaves. Then I got to go in and looking at the little box thing. It was fucking all chewed up. The little pod things that stuff grows in were just in the floor. I was like, oh, motherfucker, you stupid little cat. So I thought that, like, well, maybe some of this will survive. Like, maybe some of this will make it. He didn't eat into all of it. And so I kind of, like, put some barriers up and rearranged it. And then, like, not even an hour later, he got back up there and just ate the rest of the stuff. It's like, God damn it, you stupid fucking cat. So I gotta start over. I got my seeds trying to germinate again, and then I'm just gonna put the setup in the basement. Little shit can't get in there. Life's hard, man. Life's hard. All the squirrels are eating all of our outdoor produce. This has been a bummer in terms of getting the produce going this year. Anywho, back into action with Fizz Riven. I'm not sure how this matchup stacks up, but we're definitely not blocking here. We got Misfortune coming down next turn to make the Conchologist blocks terrible. Ooh. That's how you get to make it, Reigns. And so if he plays Riven here, I'm fine to trade Misfortune into Riven. It keeps him from getting the sword, keeps his key build around unit off of the board. I'm more than okay with this. He's only got 1 fragment at this point, so pushes them further and further away from getting that big burst kill on you. Oh, you just play another Riven, huh? Cute. I think I'm okay to block her with the Legion Grenadier. It's going to get her back down to 1 health, and we can attack with Misfortune again next turn. So we prefer to do most of our work on offense, but if we don't put the damage on Riven now, then it stops us from attacking with Misfortune. We can't attack with the Crackshot Corsair. Oh. That's kind of fucked up, dude. That's kind of fucked up. Alright.
No prey, no pay.
Pretty good fragment.
War Mason, reporting for duty.
Alright, we should still be pretty good to bring the Thunder on this board. Like, he is kind of in a similar space in that, you know, does he want to trade Riven into Misfortune to prevent the, prevent her from living, if you will. But we do have some, like, more interactive options this turn if we want to, Blade's Edge, sure. Who the fuck plays Blade's Edge? If we want to try and take the Riven down. So weird. So we'll see what happens here. If we end up, say, like, Nox and Fervoring away the Demolitionist to take down Riven, this could be quite strong. We're only getting in for 2 damage, take him to 10. 9's kind of an interesting place now that we have Jack the Winner in our deck. That's actually pretty good for us. Do have to worry about a big, like, overwhelm strike from Riven, but if we have to, putting Jack the Winner in front of her should prevent enough damage. But if we get the chance to take her down, we're going for it. Oh, we don't even have to do anything. That's pretty cool. Like, I have no real desire to hang on to this Misfortune after this turn. So we'll let combat happen. You know, I want to give them a chance to spend some mana before we drop the Nox and Fervor. I mean, we could realistically just wait until next turn. It's a little dangerous doing it this way. We can, like, respond to the sword is what we can pull off with this one. It's just like, they don't really play the combat tricks. Like, she has the 2 health, so she flips and goes up to 3 health. That would have been an argument for for doing it on the previous turn. Double strike, is that going to be too much now? Have we learned our lesson? Ugh. That was brutal. I didn't piece together what happens if he plays Papercraft Dragon. We totally should have just blasted her last turn. We probably just lost the game. Ah, fuck. She goes up to 12? So he's going to be coming in for... Oh. That's 16. We can stop that with Jack the Winner. He needs to play the sword. Yeah. Well, he might have like a weapon hilt in hand to punch this through. Yeah. So that one's on us. It's not like guaranteed that we would win the game, but we most certainly should have taken down the Riven in the previous turn. We gotta keep that in mind for the future. It's like I had in my head, it was like we need to be able to deal 3 damage, and we can do that if we run into a flip. But I didn't put together that if he just puts Papercraft Dragon on it. I'm just like still stuck in this kind of like mindset that it's probably only going to be like a slow spell that's going to, or a fast speed spell at best that's going to level her up, and that's just completely off base. So we learned our lesson. We'll be a little less greedy next time. Put that one in your notebook. Lessons from Vust at his own expense. Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think of the matchups to where they could potentially have better, right? If they have combat tricks, there's no Noxus combat tricks. If they're going to do it with out of Vandal City, it has to be something bad like stress defense, and they're never going to stress defense there. So I guess technically you could like burst a purple berry shake and then flip her afterwards, and that gets her up to 4 health. But that's like way more fringe scenarios than opponent just playing Papercraft Dragon that's already in their deck. So. All right, up against Garen Leona. Not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. If it's some kind of daybreak number, just playing Garens, or what's exactly happening. I know there's been some people preaching the merits of the daybreak strategies, but I thought they played like Leona and Aurelion Soul.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
All right, then we probably just have to open here. Adding Misfortune is kind of scary. Do we? Man, it's just like such a big chunk. Like, what's the worst that happens? He just plays like a one big unit. I think I'm okay with that. The question here is, do we play Misfortune or do we play the Corsair Jagged Butcher? There shouldn't be like too many units that punish the Misfortune. Like, we probably just have to trade her here, but like, what would be the worst? They just play a if they just play like that Elites card that makes the big unit or something. That's fine. It's like he's gonna try and Concerted Strike or something. Sure, that's expensive. I did the mathematics on that one. It was expensive. Now, the thing that would be pretty painful here is if they have a what's he called, the Daybreak Lifesteal thing. That's where things start to be a problem. We don't have the Nox and Fervor to get ourselves out of it. Island Navigator was a pretty big pickup though. Gives us good combos on the next turn. We have both Misfortune and the Corsair. The Jagged Butcher coming in as 3/3 for the big attack, or the second attack, I should say. It's pretty good. There it is. Put that Draven right on top of our deck. I want to go ahead and put the damage on this thing. Do we? We don't need to. He's not going to be reactivating that Daybreak.
Let's get him, crew.
So hopefully this isn't too bad. Like, their play this turn would be like a Ravoon. Ravoon isn't super scary. We can just attack into him a bunch of times. This is getting to be one of these spaces as to where our tech cards against the likes of
No pay.
against the likes of the Gotal decks should be like decent here. If we'd had like a Stun Spider for the Sunforger and shut all that damage down, or just lots of good options in those terms. Okay. Jesus. That's quite the collection of high quality cards, my dude. Still chunking in for a bunch. We get to hit for 6 on the second attack. He's out of units. As long as we don't have to run into another Sunforger, we should be okay. Oh, feels so much better with a Nox and Fervor. If he drops another one of those Daybreak dum-dums, we have the means to get around it now. Also pretty interested in this Zap. Being able to pick up a Might, potentially. Nope, Nox and Fervor. That's okay. What do we got? A Saboteur. Not super interested in it. I think we'll have the time to get the Island Navigator going. I can't remember what kind of interactivity they have to come in and punish this, but I think we'll be okay. Leona gets a good stun. That's kind of annoying. But it's like, we were just going to get an attack with a single island navigator. Do we have to worry about more stuns coming out now? It's like, I think this is all we want to do, is just get the single hit in with the Crackshot Corsair, and then we'll try to get damage in with Zap. I think we should be able to end this one with a double Nox and Fervor. This takes him to 6 with just the Crackshot thing. So if he comes in and plays a Concerted Strike or a single combat or whatever, we have the kill through no combat damage. Ripperino, my dude. GG. So man, the other interesting thing I ran into, I'm surprised I didn't get like shot the other day. Like I went to that Bert Kreischer concert, and so it's like we're leaving we're leaving in the parking garage. It's the etiquette is, if you're in like the spaces, you kind of just like start backing up, and then someone will let you back into traffic and they let you out. And so it's just like a big circle. There's parking in the middle, parking on the walls, but on the wall parking, or in the middle parking, there were no like barriers. And so typically there's parking barriers there to keep you from like, running into the car in front of you, kind of solidifying the parking space. But this didn't have them. And so this dipshit decided that he was going to cut through a big U of the line, and then someone was just going to let him in after he cut in front of all the cars. And I was like, oh, fuck you, buddy. That's not how this works. And so he keeps trying to like play the game of chicken with me. He gets like literally probably like 6 inches from the front of my car and acts like I'm still going to let him in. And I'm just like, no, you fuckhead. Like, back the fuck up. You're not getting in on this one. And so this is how people get shot in the Midwest. There's a bunch of people carrying guns and road rage and stuff. I felt like I might have angered this fellow a little bit. Lots of that little dick energy out here, where you need to get a Ford F-350 to drive to your job at Home Depot. And so the thing that I proceeded to do after that was I let literally every single car in front of me. The rest of the way, the number of fucks given was exactly 0. I must have let like 8 or 9 cars in front of me. Let that dickhead behind me stew. But hey, I didn't get shot. We're still out here making YouTube videos and stuff, and so made it through the day. All right, on to the action here. We're getting domed for quite a bit. I hung onto the the Twisted Fate, so we would have a way to come in and kind of like interact with these dudes, but he disagreed with our game plan. He said no, you're not going to have positive Twisted Fate AoEs here. That's so many Twisted Fates. So what happens if we pick up Might, right? If we say play a second Zap, we draw Might, we attack with everyone. He only blocks a Zap on Zap. We get in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Takes him to 4. Then we could technically get a lethal with a red card and a Nox and Fervor. Now, the next question is, do we die to his open? We should still have the Zap on the board. He gets the chance to play some more dudes. If we only get to block the rear guard, we're looking at taking like 1, 2, 3, 4. We're probably dead. Probably dead. But we don't have a lot of other good options here. I think maybe we Like, God, if we just take the control route, we're so boned. Let's just gold card and kill the unit and see if we can get an attack in after the fact here. Can't Nox and Fervor through gold cards. If we play gold card, he tries to sacrifice the rear guard to Nox and Fervor. The gold card just moves to his next strongest unit. So watch yourselves on that one.
Why are you here? Your path ends here.
Okay. So now, if he doesn't open on us, we have a pretty good, really good red card from Twisted Fate. If he does open, we're dead. So let's see how that comes about. Can't do enough Nox and Fervors. Okay. That was like a really awkward draw. Like hanging on to Twisted Fate is like pretty suspect in these matchups. Just because if you like draw a burn spell or you draw decimate, there's like a very real chance that you don't get to spend all of your mana in the first 3 turns on units. But my kind of like thought process was we don't have a lot of the tools to win in the mirror. And Twisted Fate's one of the really strong cards in the mirror. And so I was kind of like envisioning the Twisted Fates getting more stuff killed than were actually happening there. Like, we should probably, in hindsight, just like mulligan him away and just say, okay, whatever game, we got to find these ones and twos just to play out our curve. But kind of awkward. Put up toe with Doom. Let's see how we fare against old Pantheon. This is what we're looking to be, one of our marquee matchups, right? We want to play against Pantheon at every opportunity. It's not like, 100% win rate kind of match, but it's pretty positive. See how the stun spiders play out today. What you got? Nothing. Brings a nothing? Sure. We probably get the most damage in with the Mirai Warden. There's a chance if it hits like a 2-power unit, then we'll have 4 power. We didn't, but that's okay. Also plays nicely if his idea is to play a single combat or something here. Not used to seeing the Broadwings come out. Alright, so let's go. We're going to go for the Grenadier. We're going to go for the Crackshot Corsair. This isn't a particularly strong board to be dropping the Sentry on. He's going to be something for a turn or two from now. But, if they don't have the Broadwing, right, then you can see where the kind of powers in the Sentry come in. It's a big old dude. Oh, not yet. There we go. Now we're ready. Can we attack with the Corsair? Or the Crackshot? I think so. Like, if he wants to take damage from a 3-power unit to get the value block onto the Crackshot Corsair, I think I'm pretty okay with that. Uh-oh. Oh, noes. Come on, game. What's happened? Uh-oh. God damn it. All right. Back in action. A quick restart always solves the problem. All right. Where are we at? Picking up Misfortune. I think we want to save the Sentry for next turn. Let's just add Misfortune now. If he wants to make a play into her, that's fine. Don't worry about that too much. All right, here comes our turn to bring on the booms. Do we move away from the demolitionist? I kind of like the both the surprise damage we get this way, coming out of the demolitionist, and then also we get to save up a little bit of mana. I think this is fine. Do we stun the white flame? Like, what's his angle realistically going to be here? Is he just going to drop a Zenith Blade? Like, I think we would like to try our best to get this Saga Seeker dead. And this gives us some pretty decent options in those terms. Gonna put the gem on our worst unit, and then we'll come in with everybody.
Remember my words. Ready, aim. They'll never see it come. Fresh out of mercy. Got us covered.
Something like that. It's a lot of damage coming in. Takes them to 2. Looks like they might have a single combat or something, so might only get them to 5, but we're still pretty close to lethal in those terms. Sure. Got him to 2. That's pretty good, right? Not bad. It's not bad. Comes a gem, sure, and he shouldn't be able to lethal us. Like the only thing that I think we would have to worry about would be if we try to get a Nox and Fervor kill, and then he has a single combat to get out of it. But if he's like playing Zenith Blades and stuff, we should be way too fast to have to worry about this.
Remember the objective.
Guiding Touch. Do not approve. Okay, that should do it. GG. All right. Feels good getting the victory in the matchups we're looking to beat. So it's like a lot of these can be, I don't want to say that they're a waste of time. Like when we play against Fizz Riven, we still have, lots of opportunities to learn things, but we don't get to just sit around and play against Pantheon all day. And so it's one of the perks of having a testing team, just sitting around and getting all those matches in. All right, reasonable enough start. It's like we could mulligan something away and look for another 1-drop. I think I'm kind of leaning towards that. So when it rolls around to turn 3, we have a little bit more opportunity to spend all of our mana on turn 3. And so I think getting rid of like 1 2-drop isn't that big of a deal, especially when it's the Demolitionist, and that's one of our lower tier 2-drops. My game says, nah, bro. I hear you're looking for 1s, and so let's draw you a 4 and a 5. Not sure about this this Jarvan Shen deck. I feel like this is going to be a fairly tough matchup. I think it's I think this is good. If he's coming in and taking these blocks early like this, the thing that worries me is if he has like a Petricite Broadwings, able to 2-for-1 with it. If he starts playing Bright Steel Protectors, that's why that was really odd to me. Why he was considering making an attack or making a block on the previous turn, and so it was very strange. I wanted to play the Warden here in case he wants to attack with the Bright Steel. Gives us an opportunity to just block with a worse unit.
No prey.
All right, it's got to be Misfortune. Got to spend all of our manas. Okay, these blocks here are all terrible.
Shield up.
You usually see them just make this block with the Fleet Feather Tracker, unless he has like a Shen in hand, right? Well, the fleet feather tracker is a bad block here because of the left tap. But this is the kind of space to where you usually they go, okay, I'm the control deck. I just want to prevent a bunch of damage. Like, is he really gonna be doing much with this Vanguard Sergeant? Probably not. Okay. Little worrisome here. I want to get the zap down, but I don't want to just trade it for Fleet Feather Tracker. And then it like really sucks for us if he just like plays Shen and passes, right? We really want to be spending all of our mana on units this turn. Okay. Well, I don't think he's going to pass without taking down Misfortune. He may. I mean, I guess there's a world where that seems good, but I think we'll get to follow up with units here. Gonna sharp sight into this. Nope. Okay. Okay. Been so good with Misfortune if you were still here. Okay. Let's get him, crew. We're gonna go for the big like double hits with the Island Navigator here. That's I don't want to run into this space to where we play Jack and then he just gets domed by a gets domed by Jarvan next turn. So let him stay home. Still have good attacks this turn though. Surprised to see he's not forcing the kill on the Island Navigator. There you go. Is this going to be the sharp sight? Really feels like he has one. He just didn't want to kill the, or didn't want to protect the Broadwing. Sure. So it's a little unfortunate. I was hoping that we were going to get to attack with the scout unit and the Corsair again, but didn't play out that way. Oh shit! That's unfortunate. I forgot. The elusive completely slipped me. I assumed we were just going to be crushing with Zap. So I feel like our Corsair is about to get Jarvaned. This is going to be a problem. Oh. Well, all right then. So we're going to lose the Corsair, but the Jack will shut down the rest of his shenanigans this turn. And we have 6, 10, 11, 12 with Jack the Winner, 13 with the Grenadier. We're pretty close to just lethaling out of this. We have to worry about single combats and stuff, but we got a lot of range that we can be burning from. You got a sparring student. See where that gets us. We're not getting any ground-based damage in the rest of this game, and so, you know, let's just take to the air, take to the skies. Question is, do we want to decimate here? Probably have to. Yep. He's got 4/4 Demacia, but then he only really has one other card. He did just draw a spell through the River Shaper, but I don't think he can directly lethal us this turn. So we have some angles to burn him out. Okay. We can deal with this. My worry here is there's like the two things that would be problematic would be him having a barrier, and then him having single combats. Like, or I mean, him having a rally and him having single combats. He did just draw a spell off the River Shaper. That's why I feel like we're about to get effed pretty hard here. But I mean, even if it is a Golden Aegeus, I think we just lose either way. Like we can't beat Golden Aegeus on this board. That's a lethal coming at us. Sure. So close. But I'm still pretty confident that that's a miserable matchup, and so it's kind of tough in twofold. Like I in terms of that match, I'm pretty sure Draven Scion annihilates it. I'm pretty sure Yordles in Arms isn't that strong, but if it's like one of these things to where they bring that with either Pantheon or they bring it with Talia Ziggs, then we just get to ban it. It doesn't seem like a particularly strong tournament-based deck. Like, it strikes me as like if you want to come out and beat decks like Pirates, then you just play the Shadow Isles based the Shadow Isles based like drain removals. It seems to be a lot more effective than trying to get into combat. We made a video on the Jarvan Shin. I wasn't impressed. It's got that like really good core. Like I really like that core of the bird, the Broadwing, the dude that gives out barrier, and then playing the various rally plus sharp sight kind of cards. But this turns out fucking awkward.
Where's my axe?
All right, let's see if he plays Zillion. Shit. That's a problem. Oh, sweet, and a drop border. Fuck me.
Always the same. Okay, ready.
Well, we have to bring it. We have to get the point of damage in this turn so we can play Jagged Butcher. Like, everything just falls apart, right? Our mana is really fucked needing to get the Demolitionist on board.
Just a moment.
There you go. There you go, blocking like a smarty. Jesus. But it's like we have to get the Butcher down because we have to play the Demolitionist because we drew a 4 and a 5. It's a little better with Misfortune, but
Looking for trouble.
oh, that was a just pure disaster of a Zillion. Sure. Can't wait to see how fast they hit this crystal. I hate that card so much.
Nice to meet you. I'm Isla.
The Challenger. So we got a decent hit. Surprised they didn't immediately just load it up. See the crystal go right to hand. Oh, these cards are so frustrating.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
Okay. It's like I don't know the how like the math works, the percentage chance of hitting a 1 in 34, then a 1 in 33, and then a 1 in 32. Like a 1 in 30 is like a 3%er, right? Something around along those lines. And it's just it's like one thing if you hit, you know, you're like 5%er, we'll call it, and it's you know, good. It's just so frustrating when you hit your 1%er and it just goes, oops, I won the game. You know, it's just like the Hexite Crystal just beats like so many decks, and the cost to play it is so low. I just really don't like its existence. But we've survived it so far. Is he flipped? Yep. I think we're okay. The question here is, do we want to go double unit or do we want to play Jack the Winner? And I think this is like, we just want to go double unit.
Gotta go with the flow.
Can't play a lot of the scary spells at this point. It's just like, it's ultimately very easy for him to block Jack the Winner. And so it's like maybe we get this full board attack in, and then we get to just play Jack next turn. Lets us play the Sleep with the Fishes on our non-attacking round. Okay. Seems like we might have dodged all the bullets. Okay. Takes him to 7. It's pretty decent. Oh, fuck me. Awesome. Yeah, I guess we better rethink these blocks since you just AoE our whole board now. It's so fucking frustrating.
These are my streets.
Still leaves the echo block forward? That's strange. I guess you get... Well, he probably just has another one in hand. And he also gets the time trick. Oh, that was fun. It's just such an abysmal card to have to play against. Like, I don't like Predict as a mechanic. I say this like every time we have to play these stupid decks, but I don't like Predict as a mechanic. I think it's fine when it's done sparingly. I think it's annoying as fuck when it is like a build around strategy, especially as like if we have to play Echo Zillion and people against like it's people in seasonals, there will be people taking like the full 30 seconds on every single predict, and it just is a game flow miserator. It makes it so miserable, but is what it is. You hit your card. I wish you would have just hit it like, 4 predicts earlier so we could have just got it all done with. All right. The last boogeyman of the format. The old Sun Disc. Haven't seen this one in a while. I can't even remember the last time we played against the Sun Disc deck. It's interesting in that not so much this deck, but in terms of like the metas, and there is an argument that the Runeterra meta isn't healthy, right? Whenever there's such a completely wide meta that hasn't been solved or whatever, and that you run into lots of situations to where you have really like unbalanced matchups. So with like the Sun Disc, it just completely annihilates a ton of decks, but loses to another section of them. Hang on. Do we just have to open? If he plays like a 3/3, it feels pretty bad. But as you see in games like Magic, the meta is always the top dog of the format will be like 20% of the meta, and that opens you up to being able to tech against other decks. To whereas with the old Sun Disc meta here, there's a lot of decks that are really good against it, a lot that are really bad, but you don't always you don't play against it enough to be able to make those decisions, and that's pretty relevant when this is the most played deck of the format. Interesting. I thought we might have gotten away with one dropping the small unit, but he had the Soothsayer. This is okay. Oh, we did pick up a misfortune. Kinda choice.
I'll shoot the wings off a bilge wasp.
Do not see the haze. See what will be.
So this is another like pretty good turn for a Might. Well, it was a pretty good turn till the Waking Sands came down, but it would have been kind of interesting. I wonder if he saves this and we do get a really strong might here. Nope. Nope. One can dream. But we can... Like, these can come in. Misfortune can come in because she's safe here. I don't think we risk the Corsair, though. Like, it's a pretty obvious block with the Clockling in front of it. We're taking down Azir. We'll get in for a point of overwhelm damage and then just make him have the second one if he wants to start activating the Sun Disc. Right. Seems okay-ish. This is typically a pretty abysmal matchup, but we've gotten some advantages here. If this pass is bad, it's like I wanted to play an Arachnoid Sentry on something, but should we have just hit the Treasure Seeker? He still gets to attack with the Treasure Seeker. All right, but he was going to find an attack either way. Sucks a fair bit. Alright, well, let's go ahead and start sending face. Be cool if we picked up a scout unit. I think that would be our kind of path to victory here. We're not like super short on damage though. We've got 2 coming into face, 3 in the hand with the Nox and Fervor. We give him an opportunity to play more cards. Like, is this stun ever good? He just has to have a unit here, like 100% of the... Yeah, he has the Waking Sands. Okay. Okay. I don't think there's a reason to play the Fragment. He's going to put the Azir in front of Misfortune. He'll put the 1/4 in front of the Sentry. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe we can get one. Oh, we don't have a Might anymore anyways. What if... I still had it locked in my head that we had a Might from the previous turn, but we don't. He can put... I guess this does give us an opportunity to, like, if we want to try and protect Misfortune a little bit. But I don't think that's going to happen. So how does this go? We attack with everybody, he puts the Azir in front of Misfortune. It's not gonna super matter, but let's try. Maybe you'll do something weird, right? Do something dumb, as we like to see. Oh, he's gonna let the point of overwhelm damage come in. That would be cool. Quicksand is problematic here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Quicksand come in and just prevent this damage. It's not going to do anything the rest of the game. Alright, take him to 3. The mathematics say 3. That's a good spot to be. Oh no, that was -3. Not 3 is just like such that magic number. Oh man, and we were short. We were short. Fuck. Okay. Can we do it, fam? If we get an extra turn, it's fairly reasonable. If we draw Zap, it might be okay. Uh-oh. Do we have to watch the movie? It's been so long since we've watched the movie. Eh. I guess we can admire it without complaining now that we don't have to watch it every third match. Are we done? Okay. How can we get ourselves out of this one? We still have like a block into Nox and Fervor. We have the dude in hand, but he runs into problems on this board. And he runs into problems since he has the 2 Roiling Sands down, and so I think we just have to draw Decimate. Right, because Dum Dum just blows up a unit at the start of the turn. Where'd you go? Round start, deal 5, yeah. Alright, Decimate. I believe in you. Sure. No, I just went to face. Fuck. Alright. GG. But that's it's some of these matchups are kind of interesting. Like in terms of like what I expect to come out of this deck and the matchups we're looking to play against. The Sun Disk is something that we can easily ban, but we don't really have to. Since the Draven Scion matchup is okay, and then the Yordles and Arms matchup is pretty good, and so that's where these things get like kind of interesting. Is that it's like if we ever let a deck like the Sun Disk through. Really just depends on the lineup that we'd be facing. But again, like it's kind of tough with these, just trying to practice on the ladder, since the matchups that I think we'll run into a lot, which are going to be things like Yuumi Pantheon, Talia Ziggs. I think there's going to be a lot of Aphelios Fizz. Those style of decks just haven't made an appearance, and so like I was kind of saying at the start of the Sundisk match, it's like it's so weird with Runeterra. It's the only game I've played to where the meta stays like so far apart and doesn't really converge on anything. And I don't understand why that's the case. It's like every format will get solved as having like a best deck, and then it starts to kind of like rock paper scissors from there. Whereas people will play. We saw a bit of this when like the Sundisk was at like the 20% of the meta, as to where you would see all of the Victor decks and all of the ambush decks come in to beat the Sundisk, and then you would start to see the decks like Ezreal, Caitlyn rise to prominence because they were able to beat the Victor decks. But it's so weird in Runeterra as to where like the top played deck of the meta will only be like 5 or 6% of it. That is just something that you like never see in Magic, and to one degree, it's good. It's a boost in that you don't have fun just playing the same decks over and over and over again. But the downsides to it are you do run into a lot of matchups that are just super polarized. Right, you saw that a ton with the Sundisk, and that if you were playing a deck that couldn't win before turn 8, then you just lost the game. And so it was just like this. The meta just gets kind of warped to where you have to play these either ultra aggressive decks that can beat it, and then the best like control decks of the format are going to be mid-range decks, because the true control decks or even the just pure value-based decks can't win before turn 8 or turn 9, and then the Sundisk just beats all those. And so it does kind of lead to this really polarized rock paper scissory kind of format. But the other downside from that is you can't really tune your decks to beat other specific decks, because you don't play them frequently enough for it to matter. And so if you love to brew and you come out here and you design the best deck in the format that's really good, it completely annihilates the top 5 decks of the format, let's say. And so your brew has a 90% win rate against what would it be now? The Sundisk, the Pirates, Ezreal, Caitlyn, Yuumi, Pantheon, Talia, Ziggs. You just don't play them enough for that to ever matter, though, right? You have to still beat the remaining 80% of the format. And so at least like as we jump into like seasonals and into the gauntlets, we do get to do stuff like we do here with this where we're playing the 3 Twisted Fates and the Arachnoid Sentries and the Jack the Winners. You do get to kind of specifically say, okay, well, I'm going to be running this into these specific decks. I don't have to worry about them losing to these specific decks so bad. Some of the bad matchups get mitigated because we're playing the other deck. And so it is like interesting getting to kind of pick and choose. To whereas if I'm taking pirates into the ladder, I'm just like 100% playing the fastest version. That's just your shorter matches help you get in more games, and so you can boost your win rate faster that way. And there's just like how frequently are we going to play matches to where Arachnoid Sentry is good, right? We played against Yumi Pantheon once, and then that was the only game out of 8 matches. I guess against Fizz Riven, I'd have been kind of okay to have it. So in 25% of our matches, it would have been useful. 75% of our matches, it wouldn't have been. And so just in a regular ladder grind, we would have no consideration of it. But with our kind of idea for the seasonal tournament, it has a fit. And so kind of a long rant. I don't know the solution or if it even needs one, but it is ultimately kind of odd having these formats to where the meta is so diverse. And again, I don't know the reason that that's happened. It's there's enough people and enough technology out there to really drive home what the top of the meta is. It's just like things that get solved in Magic and in Hearthstone in like a week don't seem to happen here. It's very strange. But nonetheless, we're getting ranty and off topic. I hope our primer on pilots might have given you a bit of insight into the seasonals and our ideas for carrying this deck into there. And if not, then hopefully at least in some of the thought process and what you're putting together for your seasonals and your gauntlets. Or, maybe you heard a good story or two along the way. I don't know. Whatever you're here for, I hope we hit it. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. You learned how to stun the big boys a little bit better. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.